Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Dunn again. In the second section of our unit on consumer math, we're going to be talking about personal loans and simple interest. So what we're going to do in this video specifically is we're going to learn how to use the simple interest formula to calculate ordinary interest. We're going to calculate the true interest on a discount note, and we're going to use the United States rule to solve simple interest problems. So here's the simple interest formula. I is equal to PRT. So I stands for interest, and interest is equal to the principal times the rate times the time. In this formula, P is the principal. That's the amount of money that is being borrowed or being loaned. R is the interest rate, and we always write that as a decimal. And T is the time. It could be in days, it could be months, or it could be years. It always matches whatever the interest rate is. So if it's an annual interest rate, then your time is going to be in years. If it's in daily interest rate, like credit cards have a daily interest rate, then it's going to be in days. Most of the problems we're going to do have to do with ordinary interest. So when we're talking about ordinary interest, we use what's called the banker's rule. And the banker's rule states that we're going to standardize the length of time that a month is and a year. So for example, 1 month is going to be equal to 30 days. I know not all the months are 30 days long, but for purposes of using that simple interest formula, we just say if it's 1 month, that's 30 days. 1 year is 12 months. And since 1 year is 12 months and there's 30 days in a month, there are 360 days in a year. That's just standardizing this information. So let's go through some examples of where we're going to be using this simple interest formula. So here's an example. Trevor needs to borrow $6,500 to replace his roof. He obtains a 30-month loan from his credit union with an annual simple interest rate of 6.12%. So 2 parts to this question. Calculate the simple interest he is charged on the loan, and part B, determine the amount, the principal plus the interest, Trevor will pay the credit union at the end of the 30 months to pay off his loan. So first of all, we're calculating the simple interest he's charged. So remember the formula is I equals PRT. The principal is $6,500. The interest rate, written as a decimal, is 0.0612. And the length of time is 30 months. So that's 30 divided by 12 because this is an annual interest rate. So 30 months divided by 12, and there are 12 months in a year. And when you multiply these all together, you get $994.50. That's the interest that he has to pay. Okay, the next question is, determine the amount, the principal plus the interest, Trevor will pay the credit union at the end of the 30 months. So we're just going to add the principal, which was $6,500, and the interest that is owed, which is $994.50. When we add those together, the total amount he's going to pay is $7,494.50. I should note right here that when we're working with money, unless we're told otherwise, we're always going to round our numbers to the nearest penny because we're dealing with money, unless it tells you to do something different. Okay, let's look at another question. Patrick received a loan of $450 from a pawn shop. 90 days later, he repays the loan plus $27 in interest. What annual rate of interest did he pay? So once again, we're using this I equals PRT formula. Interest is equal to principal times rate times time. In this problem, the interest is $27. The principal is $450. We're actually solving for the rate. We know the length of time is 90 days. So this is an annual rate of interest. And since we're talking about days, there are 360 days in a year. So it's 90 divided by 360. So 450 times 90 over 360 is 112.5. So I've written this in the equation. I'm going to divide both sides by 112.5. And the interest rate is 0.24, which, when we change that to a percent, is 24% interest. Okay, here's another one. There's another type of loan that's called a discount note. These discount notes are a little bit different. In a discount note, you're paying the interest up front. So the day you take out the loan, you're actually paying your interest right away. So for example, Maya took out a $500 loan using a 10% discount note for a period of 3 months. We're going to determine the interest owed on the date she receives the loan, the net amount of money she received from the bank, and the actual rate of interest. So once again, using I equals PRT, the principal is 500, the rate is 10%, and the time is 3 months. So that's 3 divided by 12. Don't forget to change that to a decimal. So that answer comes out to $12.50. Now we're going to calculate the net amount of money she receives from the bank. Now with a discount note, you pay that interest right away. So when you're standing there receiving your money for your loan, they're going to take the interest off. So $500 minus the interest is $487.50. So on the day she receives the loan, she actually is receiving $487.50. How much does she owe when she pays this loan off? Well, when she pays the loan off, she's going to pay the bank $500. So what's the actual rate of interest that she's paying? So she actually borrowed $487.50. She paid $12.50 in interest. So when I plug that into the I equals PRT formula, 487.50 times 3 over 12 is 121.875. Divide both sides by 121.875, and the rate is 0.1026, or 10.26%. Now that's specific to a discount note. They're a little bit different. Okay, now let's talk about this United States rule. So the United States rule states that if you're going to make a partial payment on a loan, by law, that partial payment has to be applied to the interest first. So you have to pay all the interest you owe first before you can start paying off the principal. So when you're using that United States rule, you need to know the specific length of time you are borrowing this money. So there's a chart that can be found. It's table 10.1, which can be found on page 577 in your book. And what it does, this is only half of the chart. I actually show this over 2 slides. But what this is showing is the actual days of the year. Like, I'm recording this video on October 14th. So October 14th is the 287th day of the year. Okay? So this chart can be useful, and you'll see it in your homework too. When you go to do the homework problems, there'll be a link that will, you can access the chart from the link. Here's the other half of the chart. So let's look at how this would be used. So consider this problem. A partial payment is made on the date indicated. Use the U.S. rule to determine the balance due on the note at the date of maturity. So, a certain someone borrows $2,000 at 5% interest. The effective date is the date that you take out the loan. So the effective date is April 1st. There's a partial payment made of $1,000 on May 1st. The maturity date is the date that the loan has to be paid in full, and that date is June 1st. So to find out how much is owed on June 1st, there's a series of steps we're going to have to go through. First, we have to calculate the interest due on May 1st. And the reason why we're using May 1st is that's the date of the first payment. So we have to figure out how many days there are from April 1st to May 1st. So if you look on this chart, April 1st is day 91 of the year, and May 1st is day 121 of the year. So 121 minus 91, that's the day of the year that May 1st is, subtracted by the day of the year that April 1st is 30 days. Now I put that in my I equals PRT formula. So I've borrowed $2,000 at 5% interest for 30 days using the banker's rule. There are 360 days in a year. And the interest owed is $8.33. Okay, so do you understand? On May 1st, I owe $8.33. So when I make that partial payment of $1,000, I have to pay the interest first. So we're going to calculate the remaining balance after the partial payment. So the partial payment is $1,000. We're going to subtract the interest owed, which is $8.33, which leaves $991.67 that is being applied to the principal. So the original loan was $2,000. I subtract $991.67, and the outstanding principal, what I still owe, is $1,008.33. Okay, now it's like I'm starting over. So now I'm starting on May 1st with a loan of $1,008.33. I've paid all interest that I've owed on this loan by this time. So on May 1st, when I made that partial payment, I paid all my interest. So the outstanding balance is $1,008.33, and we're starting over. So we're going to calculate the interest due for the time period between the payment date and the maturity date, which is May 1st to June 1st. You can use the chart on page 577 to see the number of days is 31. Back into interest equals principal times rate times time, and I now owe $4.34 in interest for the date from May 1st to June 1st. So I'm going to add that to my outstanding balance, and what I owe the bank on the date of maturity. The balance due is $1,012.67. Okay, that's it. Good luck with these problems.